Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield. All right, let's go Springfield. Hey, excited for another great week here in Springfield. I know you are too. Hey, you're listening to Elevate Springfield. Robert Farrell here, certified ex-coach, speaker, and mentor, ready to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, we're going to elevate Springfield, y'all. Hey, so many great things going on in town here recently. We had the new West Side Market pop up. We've got the Levitt Amp concerts going on downtown on Thursdays. Hey, we got the Lucky Horseshoes out there doing their thing. Side note to that, I was able to shoot their t-shirt cannon over the weekend. We had a cool experience that night. Hadn't shot one of those in quite a while, so that was pretty fun. But hey, quick announcement today. We've got a brand new 10X sponsor here on the podcast, and we are excited that they've joined us, and we are looking forward to working with them throughout here. Hey, let's give it up for Custom Property Solutions. Hey, they do land clearing and excavation in central Illinois. Everything from land clearing, forestry mulching, excavating, culvert installs, fence row clearing, access roads. Custom Property Solutions does it all. Hey, give Brandon a shout or head over to their website, custompropertysolutionsllc.com, to get started on your project. But hey, today, got a fantastic guest with us, Mr. Juan Acosta from Acosta-Angeli Roofing. You've probably seen his crew around town. They do roofs all over the area. Great story about how he started his company and how he's grown it to what it is today. So hey, let's go ahead and get to Juan right after the break. Looking to clear the way for your next big project? Whether it's land clearing, forestry mulching, excavating, culvert installs, or access roads, Custom Property Solutions does it all. Serving all of Central Illinois, their experienced team is ready to take on fence row clearing, prep your build site, and make your dream property a reality. Don't settle. Trust the pros at Custom Property Solutions to get it done right the first time. Build with confidence. Build with Custom Property Solutions. Call now or visit custompropertysolutionsllc.com to get started. And we are back. Joining me in the studio now, Mr. Juan Acosta from Acosta-Angeli Roofing. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good.
Good. Thanks for joining me this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you stopping by. Well, we're going to learn all about your business, what you guys have going on, but let's first learn a little bit about Juan. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I've been in construction since I was 19. I mean, it was pretty much the only thing I can get. Labor ready.
Yeah.
Went to labor ready. Man, it was tough coming to Springfield when I was 19, just trying to get in the workforce because I had no work history whatsoever, and nobody wanted to take a chance on me. So, I mean, going and sitting in labor ready, every day at 5 a.m. till 7, it was tough,
And labor ready, they basically just, you show up that day and whatever they can get for you, right?
You go check in and you just sit there hoping to get called out. So, I did that for about 3 weeks, and it was just, I don't know, at 19, 5 a.m., I was just sitting there for 7 hours, and nobody ever wanted to call me out. So, I went home, and actually on the way home, I was walking home, and I picked up a newspaper and found, an ad for laborers needed for roofers. So I called and I just begged him for a job, and that was the first job I had here in Springfield was roofing.
Yeah.
So that's how I got my start roofing.
When was it in roofing where he's like, hey, I could do this for a career? Was it that first gig, or was it later on down the road?
It was later down the road. Like I think at first I hated it. It was, you know what I mean? It's grueling, working, in the heat. Not so much anymore, but I mean, back then we were just doing nightmare roofs. I mean, there was like 4, 5, 6 layers on roofs that we had to strip all the way down, and it was nasty. So, I mean, we did that, 12, 14 hours a day,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? 5 days a week, 6 days a week, whatever we could do. But yeah, no, it wasn't enjoyable by any means in the beginning,
Right.
but eventually, I ended up getting better and better at it. So, I mean, it became, what I like to do was work hard. So,
Mm-hmm. Why does a roof end up having like 5 or 6 layers? Is it just people trying to save money because they don't want to rip the old one off?
codes
Okay.
have changed, in the past, 10, 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, you could just keep slapping, layer after layer after layer on top. Now they actually have a code where you can only go over it one time.
Okay.
So, yeah, 2 layers is the most you'll see nowadays, unless, someone's getting away with something. Yeah, it was a nightmare.
Right. What does that do to the top layer? Back then, if you had like 5 layers on there, I mean, does that do anything to the top layer, or it just continues to add more weight onto your structure?
It just adds more weight, and then eventually everything's just, slipping off anyways, because the nails aren't long enough to,
Right.
go into the roof deck. So when you get up there, you just see just shingles just falling off. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful that they, introduced all the new codes. So there's not
Right.
10 layers on top of the roofs.
Sure.
But
So you said when you came to Springfield, you went to labor ready, but where were you before Springfield?
originally from Hoopson, Illinois, small town northeast of here. That's where I was born and raised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Into any like sports or anything in high school?
Yeah, I did sports. I did track, football, just the main stuff. But yeah, I excelled pretty well in sports.
Yeah. What was your what'd you do in track? Sprinter? What?
Yeah, I was a sprinter. Yeah, 100, 200 meter dash, 4x1, 4x2, stuff like that. But I think all around my favorite sport was football. I've always been a little guy. I'm like 5'7".
You and me both, brother. We're about the same height.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've always been a small dude. So, I mean, getting hurt and getting sized up by bigger dudes all the time when I was playing sports, man, there was something about like having a game on Friday night and just getting beat up out on the field and the next morning waking up all bruised. It was like, I don't know. I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
So,
I played football in high school too, and I use my height to my advantage sometimes. I remember I'm about 5'8", and when I was playing, we played against Rantoul. I grew up in Decatur. Went to MacArthur over in Decatur, so we were playing against Rantoul, and they had this dude that was like 300 pounds, 6'9", that I was going up against, and luckily, with me being shorter, I was able to kind of get up underneath his pads and really eat him up a little bit. But this dude ended up playing professional football for a while, so it was kind of interesting that I was able to play against a
that's awesome.
pro athlete at the time. So it was kind of fun. But yeah, that was one time where my height worked to my advantage, even though he was probably 100 pounds heavier than me and a foot taller. So.
Yeah. Well, I think my height that actually helps me out a little bit more on those roofs, because I know some tall guys, man, they have to lean over to do everything I do, and I'm just kind of like already right there.
Right.
So
yeah, it probably kills their back too if you're if you're tall on a roof, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you went to labor ready, had a couple of roofing jobs. When did you decide, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to continue on? Was there a company you were working with at the time that was like, yeah, I'm going to stick with this for a while?
Well, I mean, I kind of bounced around for a long time, and I had a lot of good bosses, some bad bosses, but I mean, eventually I kept on getting roofing jobs after roofing job. It kind of stuck with me, and it was what I was good at. So I just always kind of found my way back to a roofing company somehow. Before I went into business for myself, I had a really good boss. He was, primarily remodeler, interior, exterior, but he taught me a lot of stuff about trying to please the customers. You know what I mean? That was his ultimate focus, and he was really awesome at what he did, and he took care of his customers no matter what. So I kind of got that from him. But yeah, he installed a lot of stuff in me that I could see myself. But you know what I mean? He wasn't a roofer, and that's where my heart was in the end. And you were asking about like when I got when I decided. I think before I got that job, I was like, I think I was ready to make that step, but didn't know how to. So I was still working for him, but he encouraged me to take my test. You know what I mean? He's like, man, this is what you do. You've done it the longest. I see you're comfortable up there. He's like, man, just study, take your test. So that's what I did. I ended up passing, but my roofing exam, but I ended up staying with him for another couple years, but was a good job. You know what I mean? He treated me well. He was a good boss, and he took care of me, and I was feeding my family that way. So I just stuck it out. But eventually, I still wanted to roof, and I was starting to take on some jobs, and it was kind of getting in the way of me focusing on him too. So he was just like, "Hey, try it out. If it doesn't work out, you can come back." So that's eventually what I did.
Yeah. So how long ago was it when you got your roofing license?
It's been 12 years now. I've had my roofing license for about 12 years. So
what does that process look like? What do you have to, I mean, you have to take the test, but is there anything before that you have to do, or can you just go take the test?
You can take the test whenever you want to. I mean, I'm not saying, I guess I am a little bit older, but man, I had to buy all my books. I mean, I studied for about 3 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is there like a training thing that you go through? Do you kind of, teach yourself, or you also had the on-the-job training and all that stuff?
The test is a lot different than what most roofers are used to. Okay, so we're considered steep slope. You know what I mean? Residential guys are steep slope. A lot of the test is like low slope. You know what I mean? So
more the commercial side of stuff.
More the commercial side, safety side. You know what I mean? But nothing against the newer roofers, but I mean, I take a little bit more pride in that because I felt like I had to earn that and study more. And they have classes now to help you, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like they're prepping you to take the test. You know what I mean? So you pass. Where I was like, man, I'm not failing this. I'm going to study my butt off, and I'm going to pass this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just feel like, I took a lot of pride in, getting my roofing license.
And in the state of Illinois, is that so one person has to have the license for a company? How does that work?
Yeah. One person has to obtain their license, so that'll be the qualifying party. So I'm the qualifying party for Acosta-Angeli.
Okay, awesome. So what year did you start your own gig? And what was it when you first started out on your own?
So 2015 is when I actually went into business. It was, like I said, it was tough getting started. I think at the time I had a minivan. Man, it looked awkward. I had a 28-foot ladder on a minivan. I was just cruising around, just trying to do roofs. You know what I mean? So
that's how you start, though, man. Yeah, I mean, that's a common start for a lot of guys.
Yeah,
and we were talking with Chad Fowler from Sangamon Tree Service a couple weeks ago when he was on the podcast.
I think I heard that.
Yeah, he said he had a similar thing. Started with a Toyota Camry and a chainsaw. Let's go. Type of thing. So
yeah, so I never knock anybody that ever wants to do something like that. Like I have a lot of guys that come through, our company, and they tell me straight up like, hey, I eventually want to do it on my own. I'm like, that's awesome. Stick it out here as long as you want to, and then hopefully learn something. And whenever you need to make that leap, I'll support you. So we've had a lot of guys, a lot of good guys come through us, and some of them do have their companies. Some of them have to better jobs, and we support that. So I don't ever want to be that person that holds somebody back.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about some of the jobs, some of the things you did early on. What kind of jobs were you taking on?
I mean, I was taking on anything I could get. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, pretty much the jobs that nobody else wanted.
Was it only roofing, or was it other things too?
I mean, I've always done repairs. I think I really had a really good boss when I first started. He was kind of a prick, but man, he knew his roof system, and I learned a lot from him. He was very detailed on just the application process, and I picked up a lot from him. And I even I ran into him. I don't know, it's been a few years, but I told him that. I was like, I'm sorry it didn't work out for us, man, but I tell everybody you're the best roofer I've ever worked for. And he was. I've come across a lot of good roofers, but he was by far just up there as far as his quality. And I'm glad I got my start with him.
How important is that to have, like a quote unquote true expert in what they're doing, to be your kind of mentor to that, to get you going, right?
You need it. I mean, I think if someone's not doing right themselves and you learn from that person, that could be detrimental to your whole career. You know what I mean? And I haven't been on the straight and narrow my entire career. I've kind of veered off on my processes because I've learned some things from other people too. But we made mistakes and we learn from them. We try to make everything the way it's supposed to be. So
speaking of that, over the years, how have things changed? As you've grown, right?
It's changed a lot. I think my first 2-3 years, I kind of thought I'd made it. You know what I mean? Wasn't putting really thought into like my processes, kind of just winging it.
Mm-hmm.
Made a lot of mistakes. Made a lot of mistakes my first 2-3 years, and my personal life kind of intertwined with my business, and I crashed pretty hard, you know. But I think in 2000, it was 2018. I had hit a bottom in my life, and I had given up on everything, including roofing and my business, and I just burned a lot of bridges. And I remember talking with my brother about it, and I was like, I think I'm just gonna go back to work for my old boss. I just can't do this. And he kind of looked at me and he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? You know, I put all my eggs in your basket pretty much,
Right.
looking for guidance, and you know, told me we were gonna do this and do that, and I was just like, I was dead set on like just giving up, and we kept on talking and talking, and I was just like, look, I made a lot of mistakes. I'm going to do my best to rebuild this. You know, I'll call, get us some work, call the lumber yards, whatever I got to do. And, you know, before that, I'm going to say I didn't care, but I was pretty much not caring you know, about anything.
I understand.
So I had to call a lot of people and ask for forgiveness and just ask for help. And, you know, it didn't happen overnight, but I think a year into our process, we were starting to get a lot more contractors back, a lot of more trusted homeowners. They knew we were trying to take care of everybody. So if I wouldn't have had that conversation with my brother, I don't think I would have tried rebuilding. You know what I mean?
You attribute that mindset shift to him, to where you're the impetus to getting back at it.
Big time. Yeah. You know, I've had a lot of people in my life in the past 8 years that have really, you know, stuck around and helped guide me. A lot of people that I've come across, you know, I kind of burnt that bridge in the beginning, and I had to rebuild that. Some of them I couldn't, but most of them I ended up rebuilding, you know, just being honest, owning our mistakes. That's one thing we practice in our business. You just got to make it right. So, I mean, we do that with everybody. But yeah, we're constantly growing, and we have a lot of mentors in our business, and I have a couple of mentors in my personal life that I seek guidance all the time now. I don't think I was very open-minded before about things and the way they should be. I kind of wanted to do things my way, and it just didn't work at all.
You attribute you said hitting that bottom to now opening up to the mentorship now after having that experience?
Well, I mean, I was failing. I was failing, you know, as a business owner, as a boss. I mean, everything.
And that's tough to admit to yourself when you're out there. It is.
It is. And I don't think if I wouldn't have been honest about it, nobody would have helped me. So, you know, that's one thing I could tell everybody. If they're starting out or if they feel like they're failing, they got to get some help. Be honest about things, seek guidance, be open-minded about what somebody's actually telling you, even if it's something you don't want to hear. Because I've heard a lot of things I don't want to hear. I've had a lot of no's in my life, and you just got to keep pushing forward.
And that forgiveness is powerful. You said you had to go back and, you know, basically ask for forgiveness from a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, how difficult was that?
I think
trying to rebuild that.
I think that's what I was trying to avoid, was those uncomfortable conversations. Nobody wants to have that uncomfortable conversation, but I had to have a lot of them. So during that process, it's hard, but it's rewarding. It's rewarding going through it. I always wanted to skip that process and jump to the end, and I made it. There's a process to everything.
Absolutely. You feel like you've built those bridges back up for the most part?
For the most part. I mean, no matter what, like I have a mentor that I always talk to, Dimitri. I listen to him. If there's something I don't understand or can't quite come to grips with, I'll text him or call him, and he usually says the right things. Or Brad, he'll tell me what I need to hear. But I'm always seeking guidance. You know what I mean? It's all this stuff that we're doing is nothing that I just like came up with. We go seek help everywhere.
So I know we've talked before about some of the other quote unquote help, some of the training you guys go to. You guys go to conferences and different things. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. In every field, there's always a conference being held for your industry. So I kind of stumbled upon Insights back in 2020. You know, during COVID, there was nothing else to do except just sit at home and do nothing. So I was like scrolling. I think I was looking for the best shingles on the market at that time. And a video popped up of a guy doing a shingle tear test to see how much pressure would take to rip it off of a piece of plywood.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Dimitri showing this. And I was just like, what the heck? I was looking at him just demonstrate all these brands of shingles. And I was like, man, so I started following him and he had more and more just information.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was a whole bunch of information. And I just thought it was awesome that he was posting all these videos. So, and then I found out that he had a school. So I started doing his online schooling.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out that he had a press conference, roofing press conference in Florida. So we went to that. So when I decided, hey, I'm going to go to this, I took all my guys that I had at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and we all went. So it was very awesome to be part of a big group of roofers.
I bet.
I mean, I tried to seek help, locally, but it's kind of like everybody's like a closed book. They don't, hey, this is our stuff.
Right.
But you go to those conferences, man, everybody's wanting to help, talk about their experience, strength and hope. And I love that.
It's so collaborative. I love those things too. I love going to big conferences like that because everybody's there hitting and winning, trying to grow. And most of them are willing to talk to you and give you insights and help and collaborate.
I've met at least one or two contractors at every conference we went to,
mm-hmm.
and I still talk to them. So even something I have never done before that I see them doing, I'll call them and be like, hey, can you help with this? They're like, yeah. I've had them come down, help me here, or I went to another conference with them somewhere else. So it's networking is awesome.
Yeah. How refreshing is that though, to be in such a collaborative atmosphere when you're talking about maybe around here it's a little more closed industry type of thing where they're not as collaborative, right?
No, I love it. I love going elsewhere seeking advice from other roofers that made it. You know what I mean? That
mm-hmm.
And they always tell their stories. They struggled in the beginning or have struggled for a few years, but there's one thing that everybody has in common. It's just like they keep pushing forward, and they've asked for help.
Right.
So I'm not saying I'm scared to ask for help, man, but I'm less scared. I'm less scared now than I've ever been to ask for help. And sometimes it is a little tough, but if you don't ask, then no one's going to help you.
Absolutely. What are some of the things you learn at those conferences? Is it typical industry stuff where they're taking you through all the different new products that are out there, or is it mainly motivational like you're talking about?
They have booths set up for everything that's coming out on the market, but I mean, the branding, I think that's been one of our biggest things that's helped us grow is the branding.
Absolutely.
I always tell the story about Dimitri. I had asked him to come down and, talk to me and my crew.
Yeah.
And he showed up and he went to our first office. And there's like nothing on our office. I hurried up and bought some logos or some stickers to put on there that said Acosta-Angeli
so something's
on
there.
the door.
Right.
And I mean, it's still there. I'll show you a picture, but it just says Acosta-Angeli and that's it. So he showed up, shook my hand, and we were talking and he was like, man, he's like, who are you? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I don't know who you are. He's like, you have nothing on your trucks, nothing on your trailer, nothing on your door. You know what I mean? I was like, you got Acosta-Angeli, but he's like, who knows who you are?
Right.
And I've heard other people say this, but especially with us in the roofing industry, it's like, if you're not getting a job off your job, you're not doing your job. I remember him saying that over and over to us. If you're working in a neighborhood and they just drive by and see a whole bunch of roofers, they don't really know what company that is.
Right.
So us, getting a brand, putting it on a truck, putting it on a trailer, everybody started seeing who we were.
And I feel like I see you all over the place. Was that kind of a smack in the face to you almost when he said that?
It was
like, let's go. What are you doing?
Nobody wants to hear that they're doing wrong.
Right.
But like I said, asking for help and letting someone like just open the hood and see what's wrong with your business. I mean, that's been so helpful to us. Like I said, I was failing for the first 3 years. So I opened the hood completely and was just letting everybody in to like show me the process of what I need to do. I mean, we're still doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, if we had a list of everything we were doing wrong, our list would be this high compared to what we were doing right. You know what I mean? So I think we've just been going down that list, marking off like, okay, we need to do this, put it over here. The accountability from him and from a couple other people have been helping us big time.
Oh, absolutely. No, and you guys certainly from the outside looking in look like you guys have grown. And you said on the marketing side, I feel like I see your trucks all the time. So however many trucks you have, I feel like they're around a lot and I see them at jobs a lot. So
we got a few trucks. Our first good truck that we got, we put the wrap on. And I remember someone coming up to me and they're like, how many trucks you got? And I'm like, we only got one. And they're like, it looks like you have 10 because we were just constantly rolling around, like going to jobs, bidding jobs, doing whatever we had to. And I always tell people that process too. I'm like, man, I was like, that first truck that we put the wrap on, that was actually like our 7th truck. We had so much bad luck with trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like our first one, someone T-boned us. That one got, completely destroyed. The second one, the engine went out. The third one I bought, it caught on fire.
Oh, geez.
Some fluid was leaking on the exhaust and it caught on fire, and some lady pulled up right next to it and was like, hey, your truck's on fire.
Oh, no.
And I think Zach was actually driving it. I had just got it too.
Uh-huh.
She's like, your truck's on fire. And I was like, what? And then we pulled over and I looked under, it was all engulfed in flames.
Jeez.
And I tell her about it. I was like, dude, all this stuff you see now, we've had to work so hard for. I mean, one after another, it's just bad things happen to our truck.
You got some good ones now, and whoever did the wrap did a nice job because, like you said, it is noticeable, and you see it.
Canum Graphics did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Awesome.
So I refer everybody to him. He does all our stuff.
So you said Zach. So you initially started out as yourself. So when did the Angeli part of Acosta-Angeli come in?
Well, yeah, I started off with myself, and then eventually I talked my brother into making that jump over, and then I actually. There was somebody else before Zach. I helped him get his roofing license, and it didn't quite work out. But Zach was always there, busting his butt. I mean, he has helped me grow too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was talking to another contractor. I think maybe even 2 days ago. He was talking about he was bumping heads with his business partner, and he's like, "I'm getting ready to leave." And I'm like, "Well," I was like, it's not always roses and butterflies. I was like, me and Zach argue once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but at the end of the day, we have one focus, and that's to help our company grow. So just got to get over those hard conversations.
Oh, absolutely. So what are some of the ways that your company elevates your clients? You worked for a lot of people before. What do you guys focus on now? What are your values? What do you guys do to elevate your clients?
Well, I think, and this is just from one of my bosses, one of my roofing bosses. One of the things that stuck out to me every time, because I was his lead guy, when I got there, they were just so upset with him. So upset. They're like, we haven't heard from him in 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever. And they would just like cuss me out. And I'm like, I'm just here to do your roof.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'll let him know. But I kind of took that with me. And I kind of felt like that at first. I was failing horribly. It was communication. But I think our processes are getting better at communicating with our customers. And I think, a lot of people, they don't really focus on that customer service aspect of their company, but we're trying our best to. We have a couple awesome girls at the office that help answer the phone, and help with our scheduling, help us stay on track.
That communication piece is huge because even if you can't solve somebody's issue right away, if you're talking to them and in communication, it's going to go better because everything is so immediate now to where if people don't get their immediate need met, they start getting...
No, I felt, I think it was yesterday I got my butt handed to me. I failed at communicating, and I was like, you can tell me I did poorly, okay? And they're like, well, I don't want to. And I'm like, no, I need to hear that sometimes, okay? I'm sorry. I'll be better. It happens sometimes, but you got to be able to communicate.
What are some of the processes you guys have put in place, like for communication or for follow-up or anything like that?
Well, like we have a CRM that we use, Job Nimbus now. The girls at the office, they put that in. Brittany and Jackie have been amazing at, getting our customers on the list for us. Because me, Drew, Zach, Tony, we're just constantly trying to get to them or get to the existing customers or even past customers that have issues. And we don't want to have anything overlooked. So I'm more of a, like, if I see it, it's on my radar type of person. A CRM, like I get lost in my phone with other things too.
Sure.
So I'm like, you guys got to put a Post-it note up for me or a card or something. I'm just one of those guys that needs that still. So they do our CRM, but then they have a whole bunch of Post-it notes all over the front of my wall. Yeah. So I could walk past it. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get to that.
Sure. So when did you make the switch to a CRM? How long did you go just the kind of pen and paper route, for lack of a better term?
The pen and paper route, probably till last July. We were doing okay, but I think in 2023, everybody kind of scaled up a little bit because of the hailstorms that were coming through. And I was pretty much taken off the roof and stuck in my office, just sitting there doing paperwork. So we were trying to incorporate it then, but we were just so busy. So 2024, that's what we focused on, was putting our processes together.
What does that do to an industry like yours? Like when we have those storms come through and you've got 10 times more roofs that need done than typical.
I think we were in the right place at the right time when that happened. I think we had a lot of stuff going for ourselves. I was listening to the people that were giving me advice about our branding, what to invest in for our company, like equipment wise and just everything. So when it happened, I think we were actually ready. If it would have happened like maybe a year before that, I think we would have been left behind.
Wouldn't have had the equipment or the team or the stuff to be able to do it.
Nothing. So I think we're doing the things we were supposed to at the right time. So
yeah, otherwise you wouldn't have been able to handle that influx of work, because it was probably a massive amount of new work with what needed to be done during that whole thing.
Well, beginning of 2023, I had made a decision. I was like, hey guys, I was like, I'm going to focus on the business side. I need you guys to focus on production. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to Tony and Zach about this. And dude, they've been awesome. Tony and Zach have been amazing. I can't do this without them. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't have that, you know what I mean? Or they've had partners where they couldn't trust. I totally trust those two guys. It's awesome that we could work out our differences and still work hard at the same time to try to grow and scale. But I told them, like, hey, I'm going to focus on this. But when that storm hit, I couldn't keep up. I was getting my butt handed to me. So I literally went to the job site and I was like, hey, you guys are off the roof. I was like, Zach, Tony, I was like, I need you to go sell.
Sure.
And that's exactly what happened. They got off the roof and started selling. Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, during that time, it was a bunch of insurance work, I would imagine. But during normal times, is it a bunch of insurance work? Is it folks just saying, hey, I need a new roof, let's go? Or what do you think?
We focus on retail. Mm-hmm. I don't really like chasing the insurance stuff too much. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll take it if it lands in our lap. But
I mean, at that time, there's so many of them coming through.
Yeah. But like I said, we had been focused on rebranding. So we had a couple trucks, a couple trailers, so everybody saw us, and we were, rated on Google pretty high. And literally, if we got one call, we were getting 8 more calls down the street. So it worked out pretty well for us.
Getting those other jobs from that job, like you said earlier.
Yeah, right? No, that seriously,
exactly right.
Like I said, I didn't do this. We've asked for help from everybody. Mm-hmm. So the branding, just even if you go to a lot of like events, like we sponsor so many like soccer team, baseball team, stuff like that. One of the first conferences we went to, we all actually went to this group for some reason. We ended up at the same one with a guy named Eric Reno. He was talking about that in his hometown in Michigan. He's like, man, I'm not a big company, but I make it really hard for people not to notice me. Mm-hmm. He's like, I got sweaters on people. I got shirts on people. He's like, I sponsor every little league team, football team. He's like, you go anywhere, you see my stuff.
Yep.
So, I mean, we took that with us from that conference, and we're like, dude, don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's the way to be. I mean, in the 10X world, we talk about being omnipresent, being everywhere and everywhere, all at once,
And it's honestly not that much. Mm-hmm. To sponsor like a little league team, it's like $300.
Right.
Nobody wants to do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, there are a lot of people that do it, but there's a lot of other people that are like,
I mean, in Little League, I mean, you're going to have all these parents there, and they're going to, if they're going to go for a roofing company, hey, it's on my son's jersey or my daughter's jersey right there. Let's give them a call.
It's all about the kids too, man. Like as soon as they say, "Oh, you want to sponsor, my 5-year-old team?" I'm like, "Yes, of course I do."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I remember growing up when we were trying to find sponsors to put on the back of our shirts for different Little League baseball and stuff like that.
So I mean, I got a 5-year-old and a 15-year-old and an 18-year-old, and whatever they're playing, I try to sponsor that team. So try to help them out as much as I can.
Yeah. What kind of sports are they into?
My 15-year-old, he plays everything. I mean, every single thing. Right now, he's playing for Landfair. So he actually got a game tonight. I'm gonna run and get to. But yeah, he plays soccer. I mean, he does it. He does everything. And then my 5-year-old is the same way. He's doing everything too right now. T-ball, soccer. Trying to get him into jiu-jitsu. So we'll see how that works out.
Hey, there you go. Well, while we're talking about the personal side, what are some things you do to elevate your personal life?
I got a I got a personal health coach that I use, Kenny Hyde.
Mm-hmm.
I actually met him. I got a call for a roof leak, and I walked in his building. I'm like, "Hey, can you show me where the roof leak's at?" And I was kind of looking around. I'm like, "What's going in here?" And he's like, "Well, actually, we just got the place. I'm a personal health coach." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I need you." I was like, "I need you to help me."
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Well, hold on. Let's talk about the roof first." But he's been a big help. I've struggled with my health for quite some time, and I needed some guidance. But I do that. I always have to go to the gym.
Mm.
That's one of my outlets. It helps me just think, just reflect on things before I get my day started. So I try to do that almost every single day.
I'm a morning workout myself too. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, it just gets your mind right for the day.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, and then I do that with all the guys at my company too. As soon as I
Mhm.
hire somebody, I tell them like, "Dude, we're getting you a gym membership." They're like, "What?"
That's awesome.
So yeah, I remember we just hired Drew this year, and his first day was a Monday. He walked in. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Nothing. I'm here for my first day." I'm like, "Dude, I need you to go get your gym membership right now." And I
Mhm.
sent him to go get one real quick. But Fit Club's been awesome, helping my guys out.
Mhm. You kind of do a plan with the guys? Do you kind of set something up with them to where they like, hey,
Yeah.
let's all track it together and work together? Or does Kenny do that for you?
I don't push them, but I'll ask them, "Are you going to the gym?"
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Or once in a while, I'll call up there and be like, "Hey, are they utilizing their gym memberships? Because if not,
Sure.
I'm just gonna give it to somebody else."
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not monitoring, but I am.
No, that's an awesome perk. I mean, that's great. And
Yeah.
in the trades, in any job, really, being healthy is paramount, is key. But
Mhm.
when you're in the trades, especially if you're out and about, if you're on a roof, you need to be in shape.
It's helpful if everybody's on the same page. And like my brother, he goes to the gym. I mean, Zach is an animal. He's my competition
Yeah.
with everything. It seems like he's like the little brother I didn't have, but he wants to keep pushing, hard on everything. You know what I mean? He wants to outsell me. He wants to out gym me. He's definitely outrunning me. He's getting ready to go to a marathon like
Oh, yeah?
next week. Yeah, in Colorado. He's
really trying to put it to you then, isn't he?
well, I'm not bringing up the age thing, but he is 10 years younger than me. But
Okay. Yeah.
dude, he's been a godsend. You know what I mean? Seriously, the people that I have in my company, I can't do it without them.
Mhm.
There's so many relationships that I wish that could have lasted longer, that didn't, but the ones that are still around, I'm very grateful for, and that's one of them.
You guys complement each other well? You guys feel like you're more alike, or you're more different to where you complement and fit together nicely?
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
That we're totally opposites,
Uh-huh.
but we complement all three of us complement each other well. So
Mhm.
we got a good core group that I'm very, very blessed that we're still, intact.
Mhm. That's awesome. No, and I love the competition side too.
Yeah.
When your business partners you guys are pushing each other, and I mean, because it's all about growth, like you said.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that type of environment, I tell this to everybody as soon as, like, when I'm interviewing guys or if like whoever, I'm like, look, we can get through a lot of things, but if you have a bad attitude, I'm not putting up with it.
yeah.
I am not putting up with it.
hmm
So I was like, we work hard. I don't need any of the extra stuff.
Right.
So
You feel like you hire on attitude. A lot of people have gotten to kind
Yeah.
of, hey, I'm gonna hire on attitude. I'll teach them the skill, but I'm gonna hire on attitude.
I still work a 12-step program. So that's one of the things we went over like constantly once a week was our attitude. We actually have a poster in our office about attitude. The remarkable thing is that we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is change our attitude. I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. We are in charge of our attitudes.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true. Like I think one of the things too I've done, I've sought counseling because I can't communicate well,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's helped me on my personal life and in my business life. Because I mean, no matter what, no one's gonna be happy, 100% of the time.
Right.
So you got to be able to deal with that. Customers, employees, vendor, whoever. So that's helped me be able to communicate and talk to people,
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of the situation.
Right. No, that mindset is key. I mean, anything else you do to keep that mindset where it should be? I think we were talking about meditation.
No, prayer, meditation.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning. I mean, I used to do it a lot more than I do now, but I'm trying to get back into it. But just reading, prayer, meditation when you first wake up. That's the only time I actually get for peace. Like I said, in the mornings, I start off in a great mood, and by the end of the day, it just feels like the whole world is just crushing me down. And that's why the attitude thing is really, I try to keep that up front, man, because at the end of the day, you're going home to your family. You don't want all that weighing down on you, and you just, take it out on your family.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, try grounding. I do that every morning. So before I go on the workout, I actually go out in my backyard, kind of first lights coming up, and stick my bare feet in the ground, on the grass. So it's energy releasing.
Yeah,
the energy.
I see that.
A lot of people have said in the past it's kind of crunchy or a little bit, people call it hippie type stuff, but hey, I feel like it kind of it grounds you. So I'll go out there, I'll sit on my back deck, put my feet in the grass and ground myself while the sun's coming up, and there's just something about it that sets you.
Yeah.
Helps set that mindset, because I have a pretty extensive morning routine too. So I do a little reading, and I do my training in the morning. I do Cardone University in the mornings. That's all part of it to kind of keep my mindset where it should be. So yeah, give that a try. See if that works for you.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
I think it'll work.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I feel it. I mean, people may think it's weird, but when I go out there, I can literally feel the electricity, because we're electrical beings, and the ground.
That's
I know, but people think it's sometimes when I say it, and I'm like, you can actually feel it in your legs when you do it. And I feel like when I'm, if I'm traveling, I bring a grounding mat with me that you plug into an outlet, and you put your feet. It's not as good as going out into the actual outside, but yeah, give it a try. See if it works for you in the morning. So that's one of my non-negotiables every morning. I do that, and I do a sauna every morning too. I bought a sauna to put in my basement, so after my workout.
Oh man, you didn't tell me about that.
Oh, I know. I told you about my home gym downstairs, but I didn't add the sauna. But it does the trick, man. For afterwards,
we do sauna every day too.
Yeah, every single day. Yeah. So on the weekends, I'll add some extra time to it, and every day during the week, I do a sauna session right after my workout, and then I do cold exposure actually right when I wake up. So immediately when I get out of bed, I
need to do that.
Yeah, try that out. It's good. It shocks you and gets you up too. So
that's awesome.
I've got a pod, an ice bath pod basically, but most of the time the water's cold enough in the shower where you just dial it to complete cold, get in the shower, and it'll be fine. You can do the ice pod, but the shower works fine too. Yeah, try that in the morning. That's my first thing when I get up. Directly in, get the cold exposure, and then go start my morning routine. So, yeah, give it a try.
I'm going to.
Anything else you do on the personal side to elevate your life?
Just try to focus on my family, the kids. I mean, that's where I get most of my energy from, is just being grateful to be a father. Yeah, I'm not saying I took advantage of it, but I definitely wasn't present in the beginning, but now I make sure I'm present for my kids. So they're definitely my energy. So I'm really grateful for that relationship too.
And it goes quick too. They grow up so
freaking
fast.
I got an 18-year-old and a 5-year-old. So yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So we talked about the storms coming through. Obviously, if your roof gets ripped off your house, you're calling for a new roof, right? But what are some things people could look for, and notice on their house? Hey, maybe I need to give Juan a call. I see something weird going on up there.
Yeah, I mean, any type of debris, any type of slipping shingles. I mean, we do free inspections. We'll show up, man. If you think anything's wrong with your roof, the age, whatever, the algae, you want us to check anything out, we'll be there.
Okay. Yeah. What's the process for somebody if they want to, get that quote? What would they do? Who would they call? Get on the website? What do they do?
Yeah, they can get on our website, Acosta-Angeli Roofing.com, or they can call our number at the office, 217-993-2748. But I mean, we're very easy to get a hold of.
Walk us through the process. After they give you a call, what happens?
The girls up at the office will take down all their information, and we usually get to them within 24 hours. So,
and then what's a lead time on a typical roof? I'm just curious.
It just depends on, where we're at in the season. Like right now, it's about 4 weeks.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes we can do a turnaround in 2 to 3 weeks, but usually around 4 weeks.
4 weeks is pretty good, seems to me. I don't
Yeah.
know what industry standard is, but 4 weeks seems pretty good to me.
Yeah. No, I talked to somebody the other day, and he said he waited a year for his contractor to show up. What?
That's crazy.
It is. It is. A lot of stuff can happen in a year.
Yeah, I mean, especially on a roof. I mean,
Yeah.
you can have stuff dripping in for a whole year. You're gonna have some nasty stuff going on.
Well, and another thing too, we always tell our customers, even before, if they hire us, if you go with us, we're going to make sure you're watertight till we get to you.
Mm.
We try to keep constant communication with them, telling them, hey, we're about a week out, or we're coming next week, or whatever that might be.
So, what's your favorite thing about both sides of this? What's your favorite thing about being on the roof, doing the work? And what's your favorite thing about being the owner?
Man, okay, so I do miss the production side. That's where I came from. That's what I've done the longest. I was a laborer for 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I miss it. Coming over to this side, trying to handle everything. It's tough. So my whole process has been set up for me to eventually let Zach and Tony and whoever else may be in the office run the business, so I can go back in production. That's where I feel happiest at. I know that sounds crazy, but you said that energy you get from going outside in the mornings. Man, there's something about that long, hard day of work that I just feel like completed. You know what I mean? I feel that at the end of the day, like I'm worth something.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just constantly on the move, constantly going. It just seems like it never ends. That's what I ultimately want to do. So I miss that.
Yeah.
That gives me that feeling.
Well, I bet you the satisfaction of first thing in the morning, you've got this old roof on there, you take it off, and then by the time you leave for the day, you've got a brand new completed job.
And
lot
then
of
I get
times.
to go home.
Yeah, and then you go right.
So right now, it feels like I when I go home, I'm still constantly doing work.
Oh yeah, well yeah, when you're the owner, you're working all the time, right?
Yeah, no, I think one of the things that me, Zach, and Tony have been working for is like just we get dependent on each other. So if we need a break so we can go spend some time with our family, we get that. I think that's the biggest upside of being an owner. Hey, I need a couple days off.
Yeah.
We're gonna go spend some time with the family. Okay, cool, we got you. I love having that partnership.
Yeah, that's huge. Having those partners that can pick up that side when, like you said, want to take a couple of days with the family or however long. So, no, that's awesome. Any other strategies you've used over the years to grow your business?
We just try to be open-minded, and like I said, we go seek help from the rippers that made it. The companies that have put in the work and show that they're actually successful. We go listen to what they have to say. That's what we're trying to be like. There's so many successful roofing companies. That's what our goal is, to be successful. But yeah, we're just constantly trying to improve. So we go to conferences, go to classes, go whatever we can do, we're going to.
Any long-term goals for Acosta-Angeli here?
Long-term? Eventually I want to own my own building, but I mean, I don't know. We'll keep working for it.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
That's all right. Put it down. Start writing it down. It'll happen.
Yeah. No, it is. We have a coach, which you're going to be one of those.
Yep, absolutely. Soon. Excited.
Yeah. No. We love being part of those groups and networking classes and stuff like that. But we have a guy, Brad Betson, from the Team Guide. He comes in once a month and he holds us accountable on what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, whatever. We kind of dread it, but we also love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no, those goals, those big goals. That's one thing that in the 10X where we always say, write your goals down first thing in the morning. Write them down immediately before you go to bed. Keeps them top of mind. Keeps you thinking on them. Keeps you pushing toward them. So even those big goals that you don't think might not happen immediately, but they're there and you'll eventually get to them. So. Something to do. But, well, Juan, we've had a lot of good takeaways so far. Give us one more on the personal side, one more on the professional side to help folks elevate their life or business.
Man, that's tough. As far as the personal side, make time for your family. It's very important to me nowadays, making time for my family, my kids. I was talking to Zach a couple days ago about that. Just like, that's what I'm working for. It's just more time with my kids. There's going to be a point where they're just going to be like, hey, I need you to take me to camp every single day. I want to be able to pull off and go do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I was telling Zach. I was like, dude, I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that Tony's here so I can go do that stuff. Like, hey, guys, Blake's got this, or Asher's got this, or Christian's got this. I need to go do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or vice versa.
Absolutely.
But
then what about the professional side?
Grow thick skin. Man, be honest and take care of your customers and be open-minded. No one's perfect. Admit when you're wrong. Ask for help. You know, we're still growing. I mean, it's great that people see where we're at now, but it's still a process. We still make mistakes. We just got to fix it. So
I love it. Well, Juan, hit us with that website and phone number one more time.
Acosta-Angeli Roofing.com, 217-993-2748.
All right. Well, appreciate you spending the afternoon with me today.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to let Juan get back to elevating Springfield. And for the rest of y'all, we'll be right back. If your roof needs attention, don't wait. Call the trusted local pros at Acosta-Angeli Roofing. They're licensed and insured, so your home is in safe hands. With fast response times and top quality repair, replacement, and maintenance, they'll keep your roof solid and your family protected. Best of all, financing options are available to fit your budget. Call Acosta-Angeli Roofing today, where integrity meets craftsmanship right here in our community. All right, how about Juan? Phenomenal story, right? Hey, they do great work out there as well. So if you need a roof done, hey, give Juan a shout over at Acosta-Angeli-Roofing.com. They'll be able to get you taken care of. Hey, a lot of great 10X takeaways from what we talked about with Juan. One thing that he spent a good amount of time on was the branding and how he felt that the branding went a long way to helping them grow here recently. So I'd like to take a moment to talk a little bit about branding and marketing from a 10X perspective. So let's start with Grant's 10X commandments of marketing. These are 10 non-negotiables, 10 truths when it comes to marketing. Number one, and this is the biggest one of all, money follows attention. Hey, Juan said that, it wasn't until he got the branding right that the attention followed. And when attention is there, money follows after that, the jobs, right? So what he mentioned when he got his trucks wrapped and he had all the branding there on the job sites, from then on out, jobs started coming to him. 8 more down the road would start coming to him. Same idea here. Money follows attention. This is especially true on social as well. Grant has been absolutely number one when it comes to social media for many, many years. So what are you doing on the social media side to get attention? I post quite a bit, but I could probably post more, and I plan to post more because I know that attention is what we all need in business. People need to know us to be able to do business with us. So remember that main key tenet: money follows attention. And just behind that, best known always beats best. You can have the best product or service out there, but if nobody knows about you or nobody knows about your product, you're not going to win. The ones that people know about will win, right? You could probably think of a lot of products or services out there that are just mediocre, but a lot of people use them because they are at the forefront of everyone's mind and everyone knows about it. Going back to the social media for just a second, the number 3 marketing commandment is assume nobody sees it. Some people are hesitant to put themselves out there too much, especially on social. Some people are not hesitant at all, but sometimes on the personal side, but sometimes on the business side, they get hesitant, right? But here's the thing, assume nobody sees it, because most of your stuff people don't see unless you've been at it for a while and built up quite a bit of a following. Not very many people are seeing your stuff. So just get your stuff out there, start posting constantly. Assume nobody sees it because most people don't. And eventually, after you've practiced and put out so much content, hey, maybe your content is pretty darn good at that point. I've talked about it on a couple of 10X tips of the day. Consistency and frequency precede greatness. You're not going to expect to have phenomenal, perfect social content right off the bat. So just get started on it. Number 4, attention is the most valuable currency. Along those same lines, right? Attention. And that's because money follows attention. Next one, repeat successful actions. The point here is don't constantly try to get too cute with your stuff. If you have some things that work, continue to do them until they don't work. That's not to say don't try new things, but don't give up on something that's working just for the sake of trying something new. Number 6, speed is senior to quality. Grant always says, just get it out there. Get started. You can tweak it. You can perfect it later. The reason this is important, the reason why speed is senior to quality is because a lot of times people, especially people that consider themselves perfectionists, will sit in the planning stage because it's not up to their quote unquote standards yet, their standards of quality. Just get started. Get it done. Hey, this is one thing Juan talked about when he started his business, right? And Chad a couple of weeks ago talked about it too. They had to get started. Everything wasn't perfect yet, but you have to start, right? And they've built phenomenal businesses now after that. But they started, right? Most people don't even start. Number 7, marketing is senior to sales. You have to fill that funnel up, because you're not going to be able to sell every single person that gets in touch with you. So fill up that funnel, market like a beast. Number 8, mentioned this a second ago. I gave you a little sneak peek. Frequency comes before greatness, right? We talked about that a second ago. You're not going to get great at anything, whether it's sports, something in your professional life, social media, marketing, whatever. You got to get frequent with that task before you become great. So get started, become frequent with it. Do it all the time. Number 9, no one thing can blow a deal. We all make mistakes, right? But know that not one thing can blow a deal. It's typically multiple things. And number 10, maybe my favorite of all, be omnipresent. Be everywhere at once. Be on social media, be on TV, be on the radio, go on other people's podcasts, do everything you can to be out there. Make people be wondering, are there 2 of you? I see you all over the place. Hey, this was kind of cool what Juan was talking about with his trucks back early on. He said he only had 1 truck, but people thought he had like 10 because he was out and about so much. That's the idea here. Be omnipresent. Be everywhere, so that way you are front of mind when people are needing your product or service. So hey, those are the 10 commandments of marketing from GC himself. Take those and see what you can do to utilize those in your business today. Some other things we talked about. Customer service. We've talked about customer service on the podcast quite a bit. We talk about in the 10X world, service is senior to selling. I'm not going to go back over that today. You could check out a previous episode for that. I do want to touch on one more thing that I just mentioned in the commandments of marketing, where we talked about starting. Speed is senior to quality. In the 10X world, massive action key and just getting started. You're never going to get where you want to be unless you take that first step. And then after that first step, you've got to take step after step after step. Continue to take massive action to be able to hit those goals, to be able to get where you want to be. That's what Juan did. That's what Chad did. That's what all the folks that we've had on the podcast here recently have done, really, in the entire time through the podcast. Everyone has taken massive action in some area of their life, in some area of their business, to be able to grow to what they are today. So hey, what can we do? What can you do? What can I do more? How can we take more action, more massive action to get to those massive 10X goals? Think about that today and start making a list of that action you could take, and don't stop with that list. Just do it. Get on and take action, massive action. Now let's go 10X, and we're going to 10X Springfield, y'all. Be right back after the break.
Hey everybody, if you like what you've heard so far, hey, join us over on Facebook. We have a group and a page over there. You can also join our free community where we will bring you additional insights and strategies to help you elevate your life your business, and ultimately our community. You can find that link in the show notes. We would love to have you join us. Let's get back to it. Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Hey, if you want to get caught up on previous episodes, just head on over to your favorite podcast outlet. Search for Elevate Springfield. Should be able to find us. Hey, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel as well, just at Robert Farrell. I post a lot of those reels from the show. You can also check out my 10X tips of the day. Mr. Juan Acosta, thanks for joining me this afternoon. Appreciate you telling us your story. A lot of great actionable strategies for folks to take away from today. So hey, until next week, take what you learned today from Juan and me. You bring the discipline and follow through. And together, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great.